from the offensive juggernaut that is the Washington Commanders, that'd be 0. Zero.
1?
0. Be the same number of, you know what? I won't even say. The point I'm making is, this is my reality. We lost the game because an alleged brain trust. So you think Dan Campbell's bad for the field goal disaster at the end of the first half? At least he had the effing option. Just hold up the menu and order the spicy nugs. At least he had the option. We couldn't kick a game-winning field goal. Why, Rico?
Because you didn't have a kicker.
Why, Rico?
Because you didn't elevate your kicker from the practice squad.
I don't know if Brian Daboll lost his brain when he lost all the weight, but I prefer Fat Dabes because at least he had a fire. This guy looks like this guy's looking for the bridge. This guy is done. I don't want to do it no more. His answer after the game, well, it was his hamstring that got hurt. It's not his groin. Hey, bleep hole, it's all interrelated. Your body compensates. Any doctor will tell you.
But he's not a doctor.
Oh, but he said he wasn't a doctor. You know what you're not either? You asked. You're not a football coach. This team went into this seat. This is my life.
I really feel bad. I wanted this for Big G. I'm watching the game, and I'm like, wait. They can win this thing.
We went into the game without a kicker. We went into the game without a contingency that our kicker, who had sore sack, if he gets hurt, we're effed. That my GM, my coach, my brain trust, that's what we did. And we lost one of the only winnable games on the schedule. So I offered you guys a prize. I may let the listeners play along. Predict when the Giants get their first win, you win a prize. Go ahead, find it.
Let me look up their schedule.
Oh, yeah, look it up. Because unless Louisiana Monroe's on there, I don't see one.
Cleveland, at Cleveland.
They could beat Cleveland.
What? Yeah, it's a city.
I got
New York
you.
over Cleveland, yes.
At Carolina, November 10th.
Wait, what month was that?
Oh, that's November 10th, but that's in Germany, so you may lose that, actually.
And also,
wait.
Not good for global relations.
The Giants and the Panthers.
Basically, we're telling Germans, we don't want you watching our sport. Stick to football.
That should come with an apology. Why would you have that game over in Germany? You'll see a bunch of Tomlinson jerseys. It'll be crazy.
Kenny, I'll tell you what it should come with during the break. Listen.
You know what? October 28th, first game. You're winning.
Who is it?
At Pittsburgh.
I can actually see that.
That's Monday Night Football.
Oh, no, never mind then. You're right, never mind.
So here's the deal. We'll bring it back to center. I know everyone's upset about your Lions, and I know Dan Campbell effed up the field goal at the end of the first half, and your quarterback didn't play too well. At least your defense did not sit there and allow Baker to never punt. And at least your brain trust didn't go into the game without a contingency for kicker who has a bad groin.
But they didn't have the plan for the end of the half. What are we going to do? Spike the ball or run out on the field for a kick?
At least you had the opportunity.
How about both? I'm sorry.
At least you had the opportunity.
How about both?
Yeah. They'll never see it. Yeah, the Giants' plan was spicy nugs, no kicker. They'll never see it coming. This is my life. This is what I have.
Okay, in all sincerity, how did Big G take this?
Not well.
Okay, I didn't know.
Oh, you had to ask? Really?
I am concerned about him.
Hey, Rico, your house burned down last night. Have a rough night?
I mean, he may already be to the point like you where he just writes the team off.
He can't. It's not in his DNA. He's a sucker.
That's why I left
it's who
you
he
alone.
is.
That's why I left you alone. I left him alone. I don't pull a David and text you when your team is losing.
I was checking on him.
No, David.
I truly was.
David, that was a Richard move.
I wanted to tell him that his team was going to win.
David, no. Don't justify it.
Okay.
You were wrong.
I'll read this, though. I know this is Detroit radio, but a weekly Monday 4 p.m. Giants segment would be delightful.
Come on, man.
Well, here's the thing. When I did it, Mike, I expected you to reach over, hit the chair drop, and that was going to be the end of the segment. I didn't know this was going to trigger you into this.
Do you realize the New York Giants have started 10 of the last 12 seasons 0-2? 10! It's not funny. My dad's going to die before they make the playoffs again. It's not funny.
No, it's not.
You say that when he's in a box. See if you're smiling then. Not funny.
I won't.
No, stop it, Mike. He won't be.
My owner is a spineless jellyfish every day that goes by, John Mara looks more and more like MTV's The Oddity. Just sell. Let Steve Tisch run the franchise. Sell. I don't know how he stands up straight. He doesn't have a spine.
You can't say that and expect it's not the oddity.
He does.
Oh, my God.
Look at him. This feeble old... If I have to see him on Hard Knocks, hands in his pocket, hey, what are we thinking about with Saquon? Why don't you go golfing, you boob? Oh, I'm gonna have a hard time sleeping if he goes to Philly. Yeah? Well, here, insomnia. Because he's going to be putting it on your ass like it's your wedding night. I hate everything about him. We good?
We good.
Now text my dad and say sorry.
Big G, I'm sorry.
No, you tell him directly. Now read something. You unholy POS. We're back to the Lions now.
I simply care about Big G.
Read.
Okay.
Just read.
David, give me a second.
Read.
You cut his mic off, please. Get out. You're a problem. Somebody asked me the other day, do you know how many devices the average home has connected to their Wi-Fi network? And it's way more than I thought. I actually went home and counted how many connected devices I own. It's more than a dozen. It keeps me connected to all the good stuff like streaming, interneting, security, you name it. Xfinity knows the number of devices we have connected to our internet is growing by the year. That's why they've engineered the gateway to handle hundreds of connected devices. Hundreds, for real. Now through October 10th, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for just $30 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract and get free Wi-Fi equipment included, and ask how to get the eligible free 5G phone with Xfinity Mobile. Make sure your home Wi-Fi can handle everything you throw at it and then some. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit the store today. Xfinity, bring on the good stuff. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with a store bank account. Taxes and fees extra after promo. Regular rates apply. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity Internet. Actual speeds vary.
You've heard me talk about David Femininio, and for a long time, he's gotten results. He will fight for you and represent you. You've been injured in an accident. He will deliver results. $3.5 million, $5 million, $11.5 million. David is on point. He is ready to talk to you right now. Just call 855-65-CRASH or go to the website, getdavidgetpaid.com.
Big G's chimed in.
Can we just get back to the Lions? Go
He's
ahead.
doing
Make
okay.
it quick. Just make it quick.
He just said he's so tired of this 10-year run. It's horrific.
Thank you.
Along with the money he spent on his new gear.
Exactly. That's on him. All right. David, ticket text. I'll go to the callers. We get back to the Lions blame game.
Lions missed field goal at the end of the half is unforgivable, but the Lions are fine. Put up 500 yards. Red zone will be fixed, though. Settle down. That is Mike in Detroit. Someone else says, I'm taking the anti-Michigan trifecta this week. USC -6.5, Boston College -7, and Arizona to beat the Lions outright. Not going to be a fun weekend.
Probably not. Thank you. Anything else you'd like to talk about?
Campbell isn't a great coach. The coordinators make them go. The Lions could win the Super Bowl, not because of them, but in spite of him. Not a fan.
Not ready to say that. Your culture is what he has built. These players, I never concern myself about effort. I never concern myself about toughness. That is his job. From a schematic standpoint, every team, unless you are Andy Reid and you are, in fact, the offensive brain trust, or if you were Belichick and you were, in fact, the entire defensive brain trust, no coach is going to take credit like D'Amico Ryans doesn't take credit for what Bobby Slowick does on offense.
Thought we were about to get a Make Plays NFL edition after week 2. Can't wait for the recap. Week 15.
I don't have it. I don't have it in me. No. Let's keep going.
It's Campbell and Goff's fault. He was forcing the ball into bad spots, tight coverage, throwing the ball into the ground, and his timing was way off.
Look, it's been bad the first 2 weeks. 2 of his worst 6 performances as a Lions quarterback have come in week 1 and week 2 this year. Who are you blaming? You want to blame Ben Johnson? Go ahead. But my point is you got to blame the guy who's got the football in his hands. Now, I blame Dan Campbell because you should have won 22-20. Forget about the fact you should have won 40-20 with the way that box score looked.
Yeah.
But just 22-20. If you kick the field goal at the end of the first half instead of that fire drill, the last 2 drives, you hit at least one of the field goals, you're winning 22-20. Period. That's why I blame Campbell. You want to blame somebody else? Go ahead. It's a free country. But you cannot have a head coach who operationally allows that. And Campbell admitted that. Let's go to the people. We'll go to Jerome 97.1. Jerome, how you doing, buddy?
Well, thanks. I listen to you guys every day, and I agree with you, Enrico, but I also have to blame Goff as well. Because just as you said, Mike, he has the ball in his hands, and even if the offensive coordinator sends in a play that you know is not going to work, you still could audible. You're supposed to be the leader of the team, and he didn't show any of that in these last 2 games. And also, Mike, you had mentioned several times on your show that he doesn't play well outside. Now, both of these games are indoors, and he still didn't play well, which leaves me really, worried about what direction he's going in. I'll hang up and I'll listen to your response.
Yeah, I mean, look, Jerome, you can't sign a contract like he signed and be in a Super Bowl season. And since 2022 started, the last 3 years, 2 of his worst 6 performances are week 1 and 2 this year. That's just factual. Yeah. You threw the ball 56 times. He didn't throw for 400 some odd yards. And when you really look at it, if you look at the JMO completion week 1 and week 2, and we go, okay, remove that as this big base outlier. What are you doing from an efficiency standpoint on 27 pass attempts in week 1, 55 in week 2? 250 yards passing on 55 pass attempts? That's woeful.
Yeah, it is.
How about late in the game when I need you to drive me down the field with one timeout and you throw a 9-yard check down in the middle of the field, we blow the timeout, and then you throw another 9-yard check down in the middle of the field. It can't happen.
Now, for that, yes, I do blame him because it's like, okay, use the sideline because you have that one timeout. So you only get one, and if you're going to throw it in the middle of the field, make it a route that's like 15, 20 yards down the field, timeout, give your offensive lineman time to catch their breath instead of having to run down there. But it was like, it was almost as if he didn't know how many timeouts that he had. Like he thought he had an extra one because I didn't understand the play calling at all. I didn't know if that was Johnson. I didn't know if that was on Goff.
Remember, when people watch games, it's easy to not understand the play call because you're not looking at the all 22. The quarterback makes a play look good or bad.
Correct.
I'm just
no, Mike. You're correct.
This stuff where I look now. You want a bad play call? Why are we running speed option? I'm sorry. I didn't think I was watching the Navy game. Why is Jared Goff in the shotgun doing a delay sprint pitch or whatever the hell they call those things in modern football? That ain't Marcus Mariota at Oregon. That play call was ridiculous.
Unless you're going for the element of surprise, you're correct on that.
Just like the Giants did with no kicker.
Nobody saw, okay, wait, is he running an option?
They'll never see this coming. That's because nobody ever wants to. Let's go to Mike, 97.1. Mike, what's going on, buddy?
What's up, fellas, man? I might have to show you guys some love, first of all. You guys do an excellent three-man weave, yourself, David, and Rico.
Appreciate it, brother.
And also, man, some of your callers are on point. Matt, a little while back, and DJ, some awesome calls, man. Number one, your head coach, and I love our head coach. 3 out of the last 7 games, he has been at fault in decisions that gravely affected us, starting with Dallas, San Francisco, and now Tampa Bay. You got to do better, head coach. This is your 4th year. We love you. You can't have bonehead decisions like that. The offensive coordinator, you got to do better, bro. Every defensive coordinator in the league, let alone guys like me and DJ, see what you see in the film room. You got to stop Detroit down the middle. Okay, Jared Goff doesn't have a laser beam. Okay, this is what the defense is saying. Jared Goff doesn't like to reset his feet. Jared Goff can't hit the wide outs, so they're taking that away. I don't have nothing against Goff because his arm is not going to get any stronger. So my general manager not having Reynolds or another wide out opposite J-Mo is a problem. Because if we had this J-Mo with last year's Reynolds, we'd be unstoppable.
All right, but hold on.
You got to replace that.
You're fine. You're fine. But Mike, here's the problem. All right, if you're upset that Reynolds is gone, I'm not mad. But he got a 2-year deal. It was a ridiculous contract from the Denver Broncos. But okay, we're already complaining that we're not getting Laporta the targets he needs. Week 1, we complained that Amon-Ra didn't get the football. Now week 2, Laporta's nowhere to be found. It's
a reason, Mike.
Go ahead.
It's a reason. They're taking the middle of the field away. They know that's our bread and butter. They know his arm is not strong enough to hit the outs. And at the end of the game and at the end of the quarters, defensive, when you got to score TV, that goes back to the head coach making us have to go for a touchdown instead of 3. They know his arm is not getting there. We have a quarterback right now. He has a lack of confidence in his own arm.
All right, I got an idea.
His own arm getting it there.
All right, Mike, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I got an idea for everybody. You want a third receiver? You want a guy that you could mix into this wide receiver room? And he comes with a pedigree. And if you can overlook a health concern that he has beaten, thank God, he didn't dress for the game last night. Because the team he plays for is so damn talented, he didn't dress. He was a healthy scratch.
Yeah, I know you. Yeah. John Mechie.
There it is.
Yeah.
They drafted him in the 3rd round a few years ago. The young man, I believe, got diagnosed with leukemia. He beat it. John Mechie, the Texans they can't get him on the field. They got Nico Collins. They got Tank Dell. They got Steph Diggs. They got Dalton Schultz. They got Joe Mixon. I'm not on. They got everything. Call the Texans. That's going to cost you. It's going to cost you a draft pick.
I don't even think it'll cost you like maybe 6th, 7th rounder, but yeah, you're right.
It'll cost you more than that.
Think so?
That's fine. Yeah, absolutely. They like him, but they can't play him. You got to bribe them to give him to you. But the point I'm making is you can't just blanket it and go, well, teams are taking the middle of the field away. You don't think they wanted to take the middle of the field away last year? How long did it take you to figure out that Amon-Ra patrols the middle and Laporta's pushing vertically? Something else is going on here where I'm not blaming. Look, J-Mo's been fun, but is J-Mo's presence altering how they're approaching things? I don't know.
See, I don't know, because it's almost like defensive coordinators are saying, we'll give up a big J-Mo catch, but we don't want to get cut with 1,000 knives with Laporta and with Amon-Ra. So let J-Mo go deep, but we're going to clog this up. We're going to make Goff go vertical.
That's the other thing. The efficiency for Amon-Ra yesterday was horrific. The average fan will go, wow, he had 10 catches for 109 yards. Big day for the Sun God. It was crap. 19 targets to get 10 for 109? Are you kidding me?
It's a little over 5 yards.
That's not
an attempt.
It's just not good enough. Yeah. And that's not blame on any one player. I'm saying from an offensive allocation. It's like what the Rams were doing with Cooper Kupp last week. That is horrific efficiency to give Cooper Kupp 21 targets, 14 catches for like 80 yards. You got to make the most of your snaps. The bottom line, they had 83 plays from scrimmage, 16 points. That's a lot of empty burger.
It is.
Nothing burger, as our friends from U of M like to say. 248-539-9797, NFL, Monday Night Football, FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook right now. $200 in bonus bets, guaranteed. Place your first $5 wager on tonight's game. Maybe Saquon just scores another 3 TDs, despite me. It'll be tremendous. Whatever you decide to do, don't be a ding-a-ling. Be responsible. FanDuel.com/ticket. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. 21 and up, present in Michigan. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued, non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms. Sportsbook.fanduel.com. You got a gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Brought to you by Precision Garage Door Services of Southeast Michigan. Dan Campbell said today that Lions linebacker Alex Anzalone felt good, but is still week to week with his concussion. The Royals have several former Tigers on their roster, one being outfielder Robbie Grossman, another is pitcher Michael Lorenzen. Lorenzen is working himself back from a hamstring strain and pitched to rehab versus the Mud Hens, believe it or not, on Friday. Chris McCoskey said it's unlikely he will pitch in this series, however. We do know that Seth Lugo will go tonight for KC. Hear the game right here on 97.1 The Ticket at 7:15 with the pregame. According to Pro Football Focus, Michigan running back Khalil Mullings was the highest rated at his position in college football last week among Power 4 teams. He logged 153 yards and 15 carries, scoring twice. Houston Texans running back Joe Mixon injured his ankle yesterday in what he believes was an illegal hip drop tackle, what they banned preseason. He posted the following on X today, quote, "The NFL and NFLPA made it a rule and an emphasis for a reason. Time to put your money where your mouth is," end quote. At the Corwell Health Sports Desk, I'm Jeremy Otto. More at 5 or at 971theticket.com.
All right, to the people. Let's go to Ian, 97.1. Ian, how are you today?
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Afternoon, sir. Blame game. Where are we at?
Blame game for me, certainly on the offense. I thought the defense played really well yesterday. Aiden Hutchinson has to be the most upset person in any locker room in football after having 5 sacks and still only scoring 16 points as a team.
It's insane. It really is.
Just what a waste of a productive day by the offense. I mean, the offensive line doesn't look – I mean, I know they had the great overtime run.
But that's the one drive. That's the one drive where I feel like they imposed their will through 9 quarters of football. And that was against an exhausted, young Rams D line. They don't look like the best O-line in football so far, no?
No, not at all. I mean, they're getting beat on simple stunts by the defensive line where the defensive tackle will just bull rush the 2 outside players. The center goes the opposite way. The defensive end's got a clear shot right down the middle at Goff. I mean, it's if I'm diagnosing it, and I've never played a down of football, I don't know why Ben Johnson's not, but I think the loss of Josh Reynolds, I mean, you know, Mike, you can laugh at it if you want, but he had
I'm not laughing at
over 700 yards and 6 touchdowns for us last year, and he averaged 15.5 yards a catch.
But here's the problem. You lose Josh Reynolds, you gain J-Mo. I understand, but here's the problem, Ian.
J-Mo got 11 targets yesterday, and he only caught 5 of them.
Well, that's the efficiency quotient. Amon-Ra got 19. He only caught 10.
And so if you have 30 targets to 2 guys, I mean, the big part of the reason that I thought the offense was successful last year is because Goff did a great job of spreading the ball around well to all of his receivers and tight ends.
I agree.
Now this year, through 2 games, he's just trying to force it to 1 or 2 guys each of the first 2 games.
And meanwhile, Sam Laporta, who looked to be Travis Kelce in his prime, is nowhere to be found. And on critical downs, he's in blocking. What?
3 receptions in 3 targets, 2 receptions in week 2 is atrocious by Ben Johnson. You have to scheme him open.
Ian, I agree with part of that, but you got to throw Jared Goff in the mix too now. He's the one who pulls the trigger.
Goff is definitely to blame. Goff made some atrocious throws yesterday. He should have had 4 picks. And he looked like, I mean, are we just going to accept at this point that once or twice a season, Goff is going to have a 4-interception or should be 4-interception game?
I almost have reached a point that if your name isn't Pat Mahomes, I expect one of those a year, but maybe I'm crazy. No, seriously, Ian, fair. It's, you know what I mean? I've seen Lamar do it. I've seen Josh Allen do it. I don't
even think Mahomes does it.
Mahomes threw 2 picks yesterday.
Yeah, he just finds a way to overcome it, except for when he played the Lions and threw the pick 6.
But no, Ian, make no mistake. I'm not laughing at all. I wanted Josh Reynolds back, but I'm not in the business of paying him 2 at 14. Yeah. You know, you can't sign everybody. Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Maybe that was not in their budget. But I think, given the success that he and Jared Goff have had throughout their careers, That's a priority guy in my mind that you have to re-sign.
Yep.
And then, on the defensive side of the ball, I mean, are we just going to accept that one receiver is going to shred us for 130 yards every week, every season?
Well,
I'm starting to think that that's true.
But if the call, hold on now, the defense held the Bucs to basically 200 yards. Look, let's be real about something. Mike Evans didn't kill you yesterday. No. Okay, so Godwin did. You can't have it all. This isn't the 85 Bears. What did we talk about all offseason? If you could be an above-average defense with an elite offense, we can win a Super Bowl.
But that's what bothered me is because I saw what that offensive line and the running game did against the Rams in overtime, and when all of a sudden the Bucs defensive line got depleted, instead of going back to that, it was, we're going to do this passing, trust me, it'll work. It's like, no, how about we change and just lean on our strengths, which is that running game, which is that offensive line. Let's just bully this team and walk away with a victory. It may not be the way we thought it was going to be, but we're giving out game balls in the locker room because we won.
The problem is it wasn't generating a lot late. Yeah, you popped one with Gibbs on the 4th and 1, but the reality is how many 2nd and 8s did I have to look at? Rico, look, the bottom line is if the Bucs are going to sell out to stop the run, your passing game's got to be a hell of a lot more efficient than it was. I still look at the quarterback play right now. And I'm here, but you wanted to pay Goff. Right, because I understand real life. The reality is he's been bad the first 2 weeks. Call it.
Yeah, those numbers that you gave early in the show, very sobering.
Pro Football Focus, since week 1 of 2022 with your Detroit Lions, Jared Goff's worst 6 performances. Number 6 was yesterday. Number 1 was week 1. There's the nitty-gritty. So you want to blame Ben Johnson, that's fine, but you got to take the guy, you chant his damn name at College game day. You got it. Look, man, it's part of being a quarterback.
Yeah.
I'm not anti-Goff.
Yeah, don't look at the 307 yards he passed for. Look at the total body of work.
Right, 56 pass attempts. I'd hope you'd throw for 307. Christ. That's 6 yards a pop.
With 2 interceptions that were dropped. And one of the interceptions, I don't know what he was looking at.
He forced it like people want him to. Push the ball down the field. Yeah, laid over the middle into a zone. Guess what's going to happen there? The opponent gets a Happy Meal.
I'm sure. Yeah, the safety was probably like, wait, did they blow the play dead? No, really? I can run with it? Yes, you can.
That's it. David, go ahead.
Marvin Harrison is going against Terrion Arnold this week. Yikes. Take the Harrison over.
Okay. I keep saying this. I keep saying it on the pregame show for the Lions. Guys, give Terrion Arnold some time. This is not Alabama. This is the NFL. He's going against seasoned veterans who know how to bait him into getting penalties. Okay? He's going to be fine.
I didn't like the PI he got.
I chalked it up as growing pains because he's aggressive. He'll learn what to do.
Yeah,
guys, he'll be fine.
Guys, here's the other thing. Like, I mean, maybe I just watched a different game, but if any defense in pro football holds the opposition to 70 yards rushing and 180 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, the defense played well. Mm-hmm. You guys are all angry because what? Chris Godwin caught a lot of passes. Guess who didn't? Anyone else? Stop acting like the Lions gave up 40 points yesterday and we're going to go to the desert and Kyler Murray's just going to sex us up like Shannon Sharp. Calm down. I'm just making a point, Kenny. Yeah, old Kyler's going to be breathing like a grizzly bear over us next week. The defense played fine. Right.
Kyler's going live on Instagram.
I mean, it's like I'm forced to defend things that are obvious. Stop shredding a rookie. And I don't think Terrion Arnold's been egregious.
No, he hasn't. It's going to take him some time. That's what I'm like.
And he got screwed on that PI. I don't care. That's a ridiculous call. And then, of course, first of all, who dressed Moose Johnston?
Yeah.
Turn a light on. You can't mix 3 patterns in one outfit. Oh, it's ridiculous.
Gus does it every Saturday.
No, that's because he is a clown ass. Gus Johnson's a cartoon. When are you going to learn?
He can still dress himself better.
David, you know what? I'll stay away from it. Let me just tell you, if there was a negative respect quotient, That's where Gus falls in my
Head on
world.
down to the All-American girl.
What is that?
Oh, U of D. Yeah, the place no one's ever seen you.
You better read something.
David's talked to more classrooms at U of D than Gus. Moose Johnson dressed like an idiot yesterday. That's your headline. All right, football season. Drive a football field 55 miles an hour blindfolded would take 4.5 seconds. That's basically how long it takes Bryce Young to process a play, and that ends in disaster too. The point I'm making is distracted driving is an epidemic. Get life insurance. Your family is depending on you. Come on, you can't be an adult and not have life insurance. That's crazy. Call Mike Purpura, National Benefit Plans. He'll take care of it for you. Call 877-734-2200. He'll shop over 70 different life insurance carriers nationwide. He'll guarantee you the best possible rate. And in the event of that tragedy, your family's covered. Call Mike Purpura, 877-734-2200, or on the web at nbphelp.com. Remember, National Benefit Plans wants to be your health and life insurance agency for a lifetime.
Brought to you by Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. In his presser today, Michigan football coach Jerome Moore named Alex Orji the starting QB for this week's game with USC. The Free Press obtained Moore's contract worth at least $5.5 million per year over the next 5 years. One of the key provisions is that he cannot be fired for cause for anything that the university is not already aware of pertaining to the sign-stealing scandal. If he's fired without cause, Moore would receive 75% of his remaining pay at any point in the agreement. If he's fired this season without cause, he would be owed a $5 million buyout as well, a buyout that decreases by $1 million per season. After that performance in a week which saw him toss 14 innings of shutout ball while striking out 6, Kader Montero is the AL Player of the Week. The Tigers started tonight still unknown. You can hear the game right here on 97.1 The Ticket at 7:40. Amon-Ra St. Brown is good, according to Dan Campbell. He just has a deep tissue lower leg injury. At the Corwell Health Sports Desk, I'm Jeremy Otto. For more, go to 97.1 The Ticket or Odyssey.com.
All right, 5 o'clock. It is Alliance Monday. We're going to get to the phones. I just want to reset it for everybody who's in the car on the way home from work. Look, man, I still don't have a great understanding why they lost that game yesterday. But if we're playing the blame game, I can't blame the defense. I mean, you held the Bucs to essentially 200 yards. You held them to 20 points. They didn't do boopkis. And you doubled them up in everything. Double rushing yards, double 2.5 times the passing yards, double the first downs. I mean, you did it all. If I'm placing blame, I will tell you, and you guys know I'm a stickler for head coaches hurting their team. I hate it, Rico. End of the first half. It can't happen.
Yeah.
Goff shouldn't have thrown. Guys, he was at the line ready to spike the ball. They were fine until he looked around, and it was the Abbott and Costello routine of what the hell's everybody doing out here? 10-second runoff, half over, cost 3 points, which means you couldn't kick a field goal in the red zone late in the game to just win the game.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have called in today blaming Ben Johnson. What we have offered is, if you want to blame Ben Johnson, may we offer you an appetizer? You have to blame Jared Goff. Because 2 of Jared Goff's worst 6 performances as Lions quarterback, week 1 and 2 this year, according to Pro Football Focus. Oh, Ben Johnson, call bad play, but guy who has football takes no blame? 19 targets for Amon-Ra St. Brown, 10 for 109. 11 targets for Jamo. There's no efficiency to this.
No, because the targets, Mike, almost look like it's a makeup for the week before. Like, okay, I'm going to make sure I get Jamo involved because last year I really didn't. So week 1, it's the Jamo show. Wait, I forgot about St. Brown. All right, I'm going to throw to you, Amma. It's all yours. 19 times I'm going to attempt to throw the ball to you. I forgot about Laporta, which tells me Laporta is going to be the man in Arizona.
So who's most to blame for an inexplicable loss, and really one that I do think we are going to want this game back? This is going to haunt us in December if this season goes the way we think it's going to go. Remember, San Francisco lost yesterday. Mm-hmm. The Cowboys got bombed at home. You should be 2-0. You cannot produce a box score like you produced and lose that game. 20-16. Not 38-34.
At home. That's what makes it even worse because you got the crowd behind you. You have all of this stuff. You move the ball. But once again, you got to the red zone and you fizzled out. This team was one of the best teams in the red zone last year, and now they're at the bottom 5.
The other problem, and then I promise we'll get to the people, 248-539-9797. The other problem is I've only seen this offensive line look great for one drive in 9 quarters. Overtime against the Rams.
Yeah.
They are simply not imposing their will on a play-in, play-out basis. And I blame the interior third more than the tackles. So it's all there for you guys. We can get to the people. Let's go to Barry. He's been patient. Bear, you're kicking off the 5 o'clock. What's going on, buddy?
Michael, Rico, how's it going, guys?
Hey, Bear.
To me, you got to put it on Goff. Had a bad game. You know, it's not the season. The 1 for 7 in the red zone is the one that sticks out for me. I mean, you can't do that. Even if you throw in, like you said, Mike, with the first half debacle, questionable things. It's either I think they were open. Goff was not on yesterday, so you could say it was an extension of not playing in the preseason. And here, this is preseason game 2 or 3 or whatever when they play. I think that's kind of how it played out offensively. Defensively, like you said, man, if the defense was going to play like that all year long, we're right where we need to be. I mean, it sucks to lose, but I'm not really that worried. But if you got to put blame, I would put it on Goff just having a bad day.
Well, and it's been 2 bad days. Let's be fair. I think that's the bigger concern here is first 2 weeks of the season, he's played 2 of his worst games as Lions quarterback. Barry, again, you want to blame Ben Johnson? I think we got to blame Goff. He's the guy executing the game plan as well. I agree with you in this regard. You want to talk about Ben Johnson. Why are we throwing the ball 56 times in a 20-16 game? That doesn't add up to me.
Yeah, can we deviate from the game plan and just maybe try to do something differently?
Rico, you kind of called it out on Friday when you said that the Bucs were coming in wounded. Mike was all confident. And you said it's different when you have a week to game plan for everything. But even with all of the game plan and everything else, the Lions had a bad day, and they were still in it to win at the end. I mean, again, it sucks to lose, but to me, you got to put blame on Goff, and that's where it lies.
Well, look, we're gonna learn.
Then it's a concern.
We're gonna learn a lot about this team this weekend, Barry. You want to be a Super Bowl team? That's fine. You can't lose back-to-back games. You want to be a Super Bowl team and you know your operation's not running tight the first 2 weeks? I need you to go on the road on a business trip and body bag what is no more than a 500 team in Arizona.
Yeah, because here's what happens while you're trying to keep pace with the Niners and the Cowboys. You lose this week and the Vikings win. You're looking at the wrong direction.
God. Don't take me to a world where Sam Darnold is a playoff quarterback, please. Please don't do this.
All right.
Let's go to Tim, 97.1. Tim, what's going on, buddy?
Boy, I just listened to you for the last 50 minutes. You said it so many times. First 2 games of each year, last year, this year, awful. Awful. Why? I think playing the preseason. You got to get better in the preseason to start the season. You can't – he gets paid, and then all of a sudden he just wants to come out of the chute like, hey – he's going to just win. We're going to win. We're down. We're going to – they had the ball 4 times in the fourth quarter and came up, as you said, goose egg.
No, and part of the reason it was a goose egg is because what your coach did before the half. Remember.
Uncalled for.
Yeah.
Uncalled for.
If we were sitting here –
Stop doing commercials and look in the mirror and figure out what you're going to do. Because
Tim, I think the big thing is –
Ben and Dan have to get back to basics. There's so many – he tries to do tricky plays, this, that, and the other. Come on. Pound it down their throat until they stop you. Do what you think you say you have, grit. Just do it.
Well,
Don't
the problem is
– hold on. You're not.
Here's the issue. I want to break down each thing you said here, Tim. Hold on. First of all, okay, just pound him. David Montgomery didn't average, what do you have, 11 carries, 34 yards? I'm spitballing?
Something like that.
Okay, not good enough. Now, Jahmyr Gibbs pops an explosive, but that's not until late in the fourth quarter. 24 yards on 4th and 1. Nice play design. The O-line has to play better. Well, Goff throwing the ball this amount of times, well, how many are off play action? I don't know why we're in the shotgun here like we're Texas Tech.
You want to know why? Because I think that because you can't run the ball, especially against the Bucs, your play action doesn't work. So
but the problem is they did. Here's the issue, Rico. At the end of the day, they still had the better part of 150 yards rushing. It's just uneven.
Right.
Now, the other problem, look, what Tim
said
as you
is... Take away the 24-yard run, and Gibbs had 60 yards to 35 yards, so you were still under 100 yards for your 2 backs.
And how many carries?
23 carries, if you take away that 1 carry.
It's good. It's not great to where Tim wants to go, well, hell, just pound him. We can't. The other thing that Tim said I do agree with, and I'm willing to be patient to a point, is none of these guys played in the preseason. September can be your roughest month, but it doesn't mean you can tank games. Yesterday, there's no scenario with a box score, Team A, Team B.
I know where you're going with this.
There's no scenario Team A can lose that game with the way that box score looks.
No.
It's insane. And you factor in the coaching malpractice before the end of the first half.
You're not kidding, man. It's your quarterback doubled their quarterback. Your running game doubled their running game.
How many first downs?
Jeez. I don't know.
You want some help? It's like 26-12.
Yeah.
It can't happen. And look, if you're not pressing for a touchdown late, I don't think Goff ends up with the desperation interception. That is the compounding factor of Dan Campbell's malpractice for the end of the first half.
Let me help you out with this. Third down conversions. One team, 7 for 17. The
2
other
for
team,
12.
2 for 10. Fourth down conversions. One team was 3 for 5.
You can't blame Aaron Glenn. You know, I'm not mad. The guy can do a commercial. Sorry, there's no corollary there. Come on. The guy needs to move some spicy nugs. Relax.
But here's what it hurts you. Red zone efficiency. One team was 1 for 2. The other was 1 for 7.
Yeah, I'm aware.
So
thanks for that.
Just give me your stats.
248-539-9797. Here's Rico.
Saucy nugs.
That's right.
Hey, listen up, folks. Are you ready to add a beautiful deck to your home, or you're just sick and tired of power washing and staining and sealing your current deck every year? Do what I did recently and hire Koi Construction to design and build one for you. And guys, I couldn't be happier with my new deck. Look, it's 85 and sunny outside. I can go out and enjoy it. Koi Construction is a Trex Pro Platinum dealer. It's a family-owned and operated deck building company that enjoys a rich and proud 40-year tradition in Metro Detroit and Southeast Michigan. Their focus is on quality and craftsmanship and has made them one of the best in the industries. And get this, they love to work year-round. So, you want a deck built this winter so you can be ready in the spring? No problem. Unlike most deck building companies, Koi Construction routinely builds decks throughout the winter months, but there are limited slots available, so you need to call them today to secure your spot on their schedule. Whether you're looking to create an inviting gathering space in your backyard or a cozy retreat, Koi's experienced team will help you bring your vision to life. So call them today, Koi Construction, and get your project started. You won't regret it.
All right, be number one. It's not easy. It takes years of experience, dedication, determination. You name it. Serta's got it. One mattress purchased by millions every year. It's Serta. 111 years making the world's best mattresses. They do it right here in the state of Michigan. And this fall, get a great night's sleep on a great Serta mattress. Go to Serta.com. Find a retailer near you. That's Serta.com. We'll get to the people in a second. David, ticket text, first time in the 5 o'clock. The blame game. What do you got?
Somebody says Super Bowl train. Lions are already coming off that track. Let's hope they settle this down, or we will be pinning hope and dreams on the wings this year.
Yeah, I'm going to take a beat. Relax. Let's see what this weekend looks like. You know September was going to be rough when you didn't play any starters. It has to get better, and my coach can't cost me games.
I blame MCDC. You literally said we have to run the ball more to win this game when compared to the playoff win. Take the reins from Ben or emphasize that you must call more running plays.
I also don't like the mindset. And look, you guys will laugh and be like, well, now you're just nitpicking. No, this is just me. I don't like a fade route from the 1 yard line, whether it works or not. I don't like a step back three contested early in the shot clock, whether it goes in. The mindset in this type of game where I'm faking a punt from my own 20 on 4th and 12 or whatever it was. Hey, it worked. I'm just not aligned with where that was. I mean, I know you scouted it all week. You thought you were going to get a look. You thought you could pull it off.
And they did.
They did. It doesn't mean I like that call because if I'm a Super Bowl team, I don't need to do garbage like that.
A lot of things that are done are based on analytics. I'd love to know what analytics said that was the right play to do. Ask
Kenny,
Madden didn't come up with that.
I don't think any analytics. No, I think that was just Campbell saying.
That's self-scouting, though. Yeah. They looked at it all week, Kenny. They saw Tampa's coverage on film. They go, if we do X, they will do Y. This will work.
If this guy starts backpedaling, this play will work.
But it doesn't. I don't like. Look, I hate agreeing with Rico on this, but there does come a time where Super Bowl teams, they don't need to go for it on 4th down all the time because they don't get to 4th down. They don't need to fake punts. They do take some points. I want this team to get to that level. And it's early. Dude, we have how many weeks left? What do we have? 16 weeks left? But they have to tighten this thing up because the first 2 weeks, it's not up to snuff. Could be worse. Could be the Ravens. So let's just breathe. Let's go to Craig, 97.1. Craig, what's going on, buddy?
Gentlemen, who's to blame for that game? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You beat them twice last year. You knocked them out of the playoffs. They're ticked off all week long. They're hearing about you're the Super Bowl heroes. And they came out and they balled. They played great. You got inside the 20. They stiffened up like wood in a whorehouse.
Whoa!
They were not going to let you take this one from them. And you know what? Baker Mayfield, you finally wrestled the pig down to the ground. You got the lead. You overcame the Campbell error. And what'd they do? They went right down the field and scored. Mayfield looked like Caleb Williams on USC.
Yeah, all right, but hold on. Now, Craig, factually, is 20-16. Baker Mayfield really didn't do a whole lot. A couple of gritty scrambles, and I love Baker. I'm not a Baker hater like David and the rest of the show.
He refused to lose, Mike. He refused to lose. And he threw that ball up in the stands, and they had just a little bit more than the Lions yesterday.
Yeah, and again, look, the problem is when you line it up, Craig, and you look at that box score, Team A should never lose to Team B. You're right about the red zone. Campbell's screw-up, I think, irreparably affected this game. Now, again, if this game ended up 37-34, you're less likely to talk about it. When it's 20-16 and you had that ball with the ability to kick 2 field goals late and you couldn't, it's a problem. I still go back to Campbell's. You cannot, in this league, look yesterday. I'll give you a great example. Jets, Titans. The margins in this league are razor thin. All people talk about today is Aaron Rodgers leads 4th quarter touchdown drive, 24-17. First things first. The Titans have 1st and goal. Will Levis did it again with one of these zany Kenny 18 beers deep turnovers. Then they come down the field, last possession, 1st and goal from the 8. If Levis doesn't have this brain fart turnover in the red zone, how different is that game when they come back down the field? Those are the margins.
Yeah.
And the anatomy of these games, man, you can't have zaniness.
I mean, look at the potential playoff game of the Chiefs and the Bengals. And it looked like the refs bailed the Chiefs out. It was 4th and 16, incomplete pass, Bengals win. Wait a minute, flag on the play.
I hated that.
They kicked the field goal and win by 1.
If I have to hear another person go, well, it was the right call. Here's the deal. It was 4th and 16, and it was a bailout. And I don't want to hear it. And I'm tired of the Chiefs.
No, here's the thing. If you're going to start calling that call, then every Hail Mary play is pass interference.
There's no argument. I just, look, Mahomes is great enough. Reed is great enough. Please, on 4th and 16, short of last Boy Scout and someone pulling a Beretta out of their pants, please go to Tom. 97.1. Tommy, what's up, buddy?
Hey, how's it going, Mike? Been a fan since the Boombayé days.
Well, it's nice to have you back. What's going on?
Yeah. I got a comment and a question. The comment is that Lions, these first 2 games, have been overwhelmingly the more healthier team. And there's going to be a time in the season they're not going to be able to say that. And that's when a loss like yesterday will come back to haunt you.
I agree. You can't overlook it.
The question I have for you, Mike, I'm watching TV. I don't know the progressions. I don't know who's Goff looking through 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. But does the big play ability or potential for J-Mo take away from maybe the targets for Laporta?
I'm wondering it, and I don't think you're wrong. Tommy,
so many pieces of that pie.
Tommy, the only thing that's changed is this wide receiver 1A that we've added, where there's clearly a pressure to unlock this other dimension of the offense, when in reality, I don't need an 80-yard touchdown. I need an 18-yard first down. Hey, Tommy, I don't think you're wrong for thinking it, because I'm thinking it too. Maybe we're both wrong. But now Rico's right. Sam Laporta will get 14 targets this week.
It'll happen.
Right now, it looks like they're spinning a wheel. How about you just run the offense? And there's going to be certain games, like look yesterday. It was clear you didn't want to let Mike Williams hurt you. Godwin had a day. Mike Williams didn't. Yeah. And that's the design. That'll happen. But it's been
it's almost like they're force feeding. Like, Amon-Ra got force fed. We're sorry you only got a couple of throws week 1. We'll make it up in week 2.
And the problem is the efficiency each game is you can't have 11 targets, catch 5 balls. You can't have 19 targets and catch 10. It's 30 targets. You got 15 completions. It doesn't work. The other thing I don't like, and I've never liked this, I don't care if it's football 1992, I hate these swing passes. The league, these guys have gotten too big, too fast, too strong, sideline to sideline. It doesn't work anymore. No. And it's just,
only in college.
Yeah, but unless you're MSU, it hasn't worked in 30 years. The last time we threw a swing pass and it worked was Mark Renaud against Penn State in 96. Okay?
I don't know how MSU just took it straight, but sure.
Shout out Scotty Green against U of M, 1995. We just don't throw swing passes that work.
Le'Veon Bell had some.
Please. Yeah, after D'Antonio bulked him up to 300 pounds and he couldn't move his legs.
What? Bad news for the Rams. Cooper Kupp, Jonah Jackson, and John Johnson expected to miss extended time.
Fantastic. You hate to see it. All right, listen, football is here. Moran Buick GMC, where you can lease the new 24 GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation, $239 a month, $999 down, or the 24 Buick Envista, $249 a month, $1999 down. No employee discount required. New stock arriving daily. They will have what you're looking for. And yes, Yukon Denali's are in stock as well. Something's off with that current vehicle? Go to Moran Buick GMC, MoranExpress.com. You get that loaner. They'll call you when your vehicle's ready. It's Moran Buick GMC, where you always get the best price, period. It's on Telegraph, just north of Eureka and Taylor, or you can visit them online at MoranExpress.com. It's Moran Buick GMC. We are professional grade.
Brought to you by Precision Garage Door Services of Southeast Michigan. Breaking Tigers news, Reese Olson being activated and starting tonight for Detroit. Olson has not pitched in an MLB game since July 20th in 2020.
Hi. So here's the deal. It's Monday. You're busy. Crazy day at work. Football's on tonight. Order a pizza. There's your sales pitch. Hungry Howie's is the best offer going right now. Any large 2-topping pizza.
To the third quarter of the Apple Cup because it was a defensive affair, and this was the game-winning drive for Washington State. John Mateer starts to drive off with a pass. A penalty from Washington keeps the drive going. Wayshawn Parker runs for 37 yards, and then a 16-yard touchdown pass by John Mateer to Josh Meredith wins the game, yes, in the third quarter.
Wait, you didn't want to go to fourth quarter and Jetfish's greatest, hey, let's run the short side speed option on 4th and goal from the 2.
You'll figure it out. They suck. I'm just happy for Wazoo because no two schools have been screwed in the history of college football more than Oregon State and Wazoo. Oregon State got pummeled by Oregon, but Wazoo, it's like good for them. UW, Fish will get it right, but that's not a good football team, Rico.
I mean, only Kentucky's coach Stoops was worse.
Oh, that was
like,
cowardice.
You 4th and 2, you ran to the short side of the field, an option play.
Correct.
See, what I enjoyed from the Washington State win.
And I'm angry because I needed that one to hit a 6-leg parlay.
There was a story, and while you're right, Oregon State got destroyed by Oregon, there's a story of the Oregon State president at the end of the game watching the end of the Apple Cup, and while he's upset his team lost, he's then happy for Washington State and said, thank you, that really makes me happy.
No, and I always think about stuff like this as like Oregon State approved a massive stadium renovation, hundreds of millions of dollars, and then you find out just as it's completed, we don't have a conference to play. I mean, it's complete nonsense. Total nonsense.
But I'm sure somehow or another Colorado was aggrieved. So,
well, they were. Dion played that role beautifully. I actually didn't have a problem with Shedeur not shaking hands because Nicolosi was classless during the week, and so was Horton, the wide receiver. You know what? Don't try to shake my hand. You bleeped all over us all week. I don't need to talk. Plus, Nicolosi played so bad. I'll tell you what. We don't need you out here. Go home. Right. Go home.
See, I would have shook his hand like, thanks, because apparently you had money on us, is what I would have said.
Great. And if the cameras picked that up, you'd be out of eligibility. But thank you for that.
No, I'm saying if Shedeur said that.
You imagine Rico Beard ruled ineligible. Massive gambling scandal.
Right there in the middle of the field.
Right in the middle of the field. You're on the take.
If Aiden Childs can say it, I'm good.
I didn't
bet
like
the
what
over.
Aiden did.
I blame Davis Warren. Somehow yesterday, the Lions was his fault. Okay, all right.
Look, we're going to talk a little college tomorrow, clearly. Rico brought up an interesting point with U of M. We'll get to it.
This is the only text I got today for this, and I saved it for the end of the show.
What?
I was so upset yesterday. Goff was awful. I said it last week. I'll say it again. Paying Goff was a waste. Let's try and trade him now to Miami and start Hooker. He is just what we need. He is the future. That's the only one I got all show. So people have been really good.
Because they know not to bring that on this show. You can bring it to the morning where Costa will delight your sensibilities with such talk about Hendon Hooker.
He was close this morning.
Oh,
you know what? And here's the thing. And I don't want this to happen, but if it's next Monday and Kyler Murray runs wild, people are going to be, how come we don't have a quarterback like that? If they got a tiny little quarterback that can do this.
Yeah, I'm 43. I'm at a point in my life, and this is a problem when you do this job. If an idiot comes up to me and says 2 + 2 is 5, I go, you're right, man. Sick, you figured it out. I'm not doing this. All right? I'm not doing it. If you reveal to me you're an idiot, I will agree to whatever you say. Oh, Michigan didn't cheat? Hey, God bless, man. Awesome. I don't care. I can't do this.
No competitive advantage.
No. I can't.
I know.
I'm not going to engage in those conversations. Jared Goff is a very good quarterback who's not playing very good right now.
See, I was shocked that we didn't have more Hendon Hooker talk like that.
I'm happy. I'm so glad we did not. I really
now,
am.
The decision-making late in the game, you're swaying me, Mike, that, Goff, I don't know what the plays are, but you can't throw the ball for 8 yards in the middle of the field.
Not with one timeout left.
Right.
Not for 8 yards.
If you're going to throw in the middle of the field, make it count.
And
25 yards down the field, timeout.
I understand the theory that you want to get yourself to about the 20 because the throws from the 20 or the 15 that are, quote, desperation shot throws to the end zone have a much higher degree of success. But, man, with one timeout left, you gotta know better than that.
Yeah, sideline. Hey, guys, hit the sideline, catch it, get out of bounds. Let's save this timeout.
And let's be honest here. I mean, that was a gift to even have that timeout. I think the Bucs should have ran that ball and forced you to call it.
Yeah.
That was stupid to me.
But hold on. We always have this conversation. I don't need your timeouts if I win the game.
True.
They were playing to win the game.
Yep.
I can't rip them for doing that.
And the play that they ran, it looked like it would have worked, but they ran it earlier in the game, and the defense adjusted.
They knew it, yeah.
And they made sure that's not going to happen again. Because as soon as he did the fake, I'm like, oh, he's going to hit it quick. Oh, it's blocked. Okay. Keep the timeout. And I just thought at that point, this is the Lions' chance. They're going to march down the field, and they're going to score. It's going to be ugly, but they'll win.
And by the way, I got to read this Sharon Moore thing. So basically, if they fire him because I don't like him, they can just pay $5 million.
This year.
But then they can't fire him unless new stuff comes out about the investigation for alleged cheating. Is that how I'm reading this right?
Yeah, correct. Anything they knew already, they cannot fire him for.
Buddy, I got news for you. All right? They'll find something new. I've never heard of that in a clause.
Or
it'll just get rid of his ass because he's not good.
Dude, it's a $5 million buyout.
It's nothing.
And here's the thing. It goes down $1 million each year. So
that's
all
nothing.
Right, we're going to give you this year. And what date is it? The day after it goes down $1 million.
How much money does Michigan get from the Big Ten Network yearly?
Like $100 million.
Oh, okay then. Yeah, I think we're good. I mean, like,
changes what you're saying,
right? Like Billy Napier, it's $26 million, and meth head Florida boosters are like, "Hey, no problem." Right. Like, come on, man. That I want to read it. The piece is expansive and not on Alliance Monday. I'll get to it tonight while I'm watching Monday Night Football.
But yeah, it looks as if if anything comes out right now, nothing new, he can't be fired for the sign stealing stuff.
No, but they can just fire him because they don't. Like, if he farted in a meeting, they can get rid of him for $5 million.
Yeah, you went 5-7. You didn't make a bowl game. We're going to wait, because I would just wait and pay you $4.
Why is everything so complicated with this school? Seriously.
Why do you care so much, Sparty?
I don't care.
It shouldn't be this difficult.
No,
it really shouldn't.
I don't care. I care that I don't have a starting right guard.
Brother, a $5 million buyout tells me everything I need to know of how you feel about your coach.
Correct.
Because that might as well be a $5 buyout.
Sparty.
You know what? You
somewhere Michigan fans right now sound like Shannon Sharp, so upset.
Yeah.
They sound like Mel Gibson on the phone. Sparty.
Yeah, you might say, hey, Sharon, we're going to take you to Subway. Pick whatever sandwich you want. It's on us, and you're fired.
You want extra cheese?
Somehow that's how I imagine it went down with Tuck. All right. Pick your $5 foot long and get the F out. Right. All right.
Can I at least get chips? Sure.
We'll talk about throw him a cookie, too. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll get to all the college football. 97.1.